The Family Law Inquiry has the ability to get the ball rolling on some important reforms concerning child support. Among other matters, the inquiry was tasked with reporting on any improvements to the interaction between the family law system and the child support system. Within the inquiry's terms of reference, here are 4 ways to achieve better outcomes for Australian children and parents. Interestingly, in all 4 cases, a problem exists because we have treated money as either being extremely important to kids or not important at all. Each solution is about finding a sensible balance between these extremes. Children benefit from financial support, but we should also be mindful of the costs of interventions by the courts or government departments. Number 1. Judges should be required to consider the earning capacity of each parent when making parenting orders. This would help stop the family law system relying excessively on child support to meet the financial needs of children. Unfortunately, within the family law system, there is a perception that the child support system is effective and ensures that children are well supported financially. The Law Council of Australia claims that, in their experience, the child support system works for most families. However, the reality is that the child support system fails routinely. In about half of all child support cases, one of the parents feels the assessment is very unfair to them. That's according to statistics from the Australian Institute of Family Studies. Furthermore, as a group, parents who receive child support have very low incomes. Recipients typically have an income below the self-support threshold of $25,000. That means many thousands of children are living with a parent who works little, if at all. If the family law system were to take some responsibility for the economic well-being of children, we would likely see a higher percentage of parenting matters end with a shared care decision. Balanced care arrangements protect children materially. A child can make up for poverty in one household by spending significant time in the other. Currently, only around 15% of contested family law cases result in shared care, where a child sees each parent at least 35% of the time. The family law legislation allows judges to look at whether a parent is able to meet the needs of a child. But there is no explicit requirement to consider the ability of each parent to be a good provider. Judges seem to ignore economic considerations altogether and just assume child support payments will do the trick. In more than 80% of cases, they award primary care to one parent, and this is normally the parent with least earning capacity. Children would be materially better off if the family law legislation made parent incomes a factor that judges must consider when apportioning parenting time. Number 2. A further potential improvement is to make child support less of a reason to legally fight over care. We can do this by changing the child support formula. The problem is that the child support system creates financial incentives for parents to battle in court to get more parenting time. Where a parenting arrangement might otherwise have been agreed amicably, instead we see disputation and prolonged court proceedings, along with parental alienation. Consider this. Under the current child support scheme, a father earning $180,000 a year, who has 3 teenage children, has to transfer $47,000 in cash payments annually. That's as long as he sees his children no more than 1 day a week, and the mother fails to support herself. Using an alternative formula proposed by Child Support Australia, the annual cash payment would reduce to a more realistic $16,500 and would be independent of the mother's earnings. Changing the formula would promote genuine co-parenting and reduce financial dependence. A formula change would also help reduce the family court's caseload and help produce better family and economic outcomes for children. Number 3. Child support assessments should respect parenting orders. This would help ensure children have proper access to both parents. Strangely, the child support system treats parenting orders with almost complete contempt. A parent can ignore orders for parenting time handed down by the Federal Circuit Court or Family Court of Australia. If the parent keeps their children longer than legally allowed, the the Department of Social Services will actually recognize the offender's violation of the court orders as legitimate. They will increase child support payments to the law-breaking parent, so undermining the court's authority. The other parent is forced to go back to the family law system for contravention proceedings, with associated legal costs. And subsequent orders may be ignored as well. Parenting order contraventions, which impose significant costs on both the family law and child support systems, could easily be lessened. Almost without exception, parenting orders should be used to calculate child support. That would add an automatic financial compliance measure to deter parents from contravening parenting orders in the first place. Number 4. The Australian Government could act as a debt buyer with respect to large outstanding child support debts. Such a service is needed because the Department of Social Services is not always successful at collecting unpaid child support. Debts running into tens of thousands of dollars, or more, can accumulate over time. This leaves child support recipients and their children severely out of pocket. Parents have the option of initiating court proceedings within the family law system to try to get paid. However, court action is an expensive and daunting prospect for individual parents, and is rarely undertaken. The Department of Social Services only infrequently initiates court action on behalf of a parent. So, the Australian Government should allow parents to convert debt to cash. Each parent would receive a portion, say 85%, of the amount owed to them. The Australian Government would take over the debt, and could eventually reclaim it with interest. One tool available to the government is to put a hold on debtor access to superannuation. A debt-buying service need not cost the taxpayer anything, and could be done on semi-commercial terms.
Now let's recap the 4 recommendations for improving how the family law system interacts with the child support system. 1. The family law system must stop relying so heavily on child support as a financial prop. The Family Law Act should be modified so that parenting decisions take account of the earning capacity of each parent. The idea is not to give high-income parents the upper hand in contested parenting matters, but to financially protect children. Financial security happens naturally when a child spends substantial time with a parent on a good income. 2. The child support formula should be changed to reduce financial incentives for parents to contest parenting time. The current formula overly rewards parents who dominate the provision of care. A move to a fairer, more realistic formula would, among other benefits, reduce legal disputation. 3. Where a parenting order exists, child support assessment should be based on that order by default. In particular, no deviation should be allowed where a parent is keeping a child longer than legally allowed for financial gain. The reform would get the child support and family law systems working together in harmony. 4. The Australian Government should act as a debt buyer of large child support liabilities. Relying on the family law system as the ultimate debt recovery solution is not working. Debt buying would be a cost-effective way to get money into the hands of the parents and children who need it.